Hello and welcome to all of you for the 50 Days to CAT 2021. Well, the countdown has really begun, and I hope CAT exam very confidently. And we are again, Gejo and I are going to help you to look at what should you do for the next 50 days. What are the worries that you might probably have at this stage of the game? You might have studied, you might have not studied at all anything. You feel your scores are fluctuating. In fact, if they're fluctuating, you're doing something well. And there are areas that you really want to kind of throw them away into the sea, and you want to just get either Gijo's opinion or my opinion saying that, sir, ye chhod sakte hain kya, kind of a statement. All this and more, and any questions that you have at the very beginning, I think we will take it up before we present a kind of a small presentation for you over the next 60 minutes. Somebody asked already, what time is this entire session going to be? It's going to be about 60-minute session. Gejo, that's going to be your, why don't you just give your first 5-10 minutes of tippani before we start off the presentation?
Yeah, okay. So good evening to all of you. I'm already getting some nice words from people. Jigar, thank you. Nikhil, Sri Darshini, and who else? Don Chukla has been like, he's going to be silent for 5 minutes now. Hopefully he'll be back. So the kind of idea of this particular session, ladies and gentlemen, is that you might have a lot of questions, queries in the last 50 days. Last 50 days is important. Me and Arkss will try and address those questions. We also understand that all of you have got different problems. So let's see. So if you have any specific question, please post that here so we can just start with that. And then we'll take up the presentation and pick your questions. So that's the whole thing. Okay, so we have got
coming up.
So we have got some 100K subscribers, which is thank you. So we have got
thank you very much. Bol Bhai.
Bol Bay, I think that's Bay.
Bol Bay. Oh, sorry. Right. How to crack 99 from 50?
Okay,
Can we
so
nail
we have
99 plus in 50? A lot of questions similar.
So saying that how to crack 99 percentile, I'm asking from 50 percentile is a question. The other question is 99 percentile in 50 days. So we will try and address that. And then we have got so that's the presentation. So what to do that, we'll address that as well. So then we have other by Abhishek has a question: how to improve scores in QA and gain consistent VRC individual section issues. We'll address that as well. Shubham has a question: VRC one day is good and another day is worst. I know how that feels. So that's I think. And
Ravi
then people
Teja is online asking, can we leave geometry? Ravi, you can't be saying that, my friend. And I can tell you, whether or not we should leave geometry or not is not a difficult question to answer. But I would like you to wait on for that one question and similar questions to be answered in this particular session.
Okay, so a lot of questions. I think that Arkss, we should be able to do this presentation quickly, and then we'll come back and address all the questions. We hope that by
one
doing
question, I want you to answer. Yeah, Ravi is saying I'm just forwarding the question. Jijo, I want you to answer this question. I mean, a lot of people have this problem. Both of us have tried to reduce the anxiety of students by talking to them. Not every day that you and I can talk to everybody. What do you suggest that, given that there are only 50 days to go, what should they be doing to keep their calm and make sure that they don't bungle up the next 50 days? Forget about the actual exam. Not bungling, I'm not screwing up their entire next 50 days that are there available for us. Gejo.
So I'm actually a wrong person to answer that question because I'm always stressed. So my remedy to stress is I never show it out. So for example, if let's say I have to take a session or I have to take a class, I have to do something in life, I'm always very stressed. So the way in which I will manage the stress is by pure practice. Okay, so I would do it. For example, if it's a class, I will plan the class 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. If it's an interview that I'm going, then I will do the mock interview 4, 5 times. The only way to reduce anxiety is not give time for anxiety. So giving time for anxiety is that you are sitting and thinking. Thinking is a waste of time. So every single time that's the case. And the other thing is that this also I've seen us that people who have anxiety coming out of two to three things. One, anxiety comes out because while taking, let's say, a topic test somewhere, people are a little more cooler, but when it becomes CDC, then they put that on a high value and creating that anxiety. Second, anxiety gets created by because of FOMO. Your friends are doing this, this person is doing this, that person is doing this. You have my video is stopping is what is being said, so I don't know, probably it is my bad connection, so I'll manage that. So the way in which you want to deal with anxiety would be a simple thing of telling yourself and practicing a lot, and not attaching extra value to it. So all you have to do is there's a question on the screen, just focus on that question, answer it. That would be my the whole idea. Yeah.
One statement, if you can just pick up Akash Bharadwaj's question.
Okay.
Yeah, major planning issue at my end, or FOMO, if you call that. N number of things to do, and prioritizing is a major problem right now from me, and the cause of the anxiousness. Like Gejo has said, let me just talk about 2 points, guys. You will be completely anxious when you are really putting in effort, you're preparing, and somehow the scores are not reflecting the, the effort that you're putting in. That's a serious issue. That is one reason. The other reason is anxious is you're doing well, you're getting good scores. Now you are afraid that what will happen in the actual exam, that, hey, will I be able to really do that very, very well? Very little anxiousness will be there for students who are not preparing. So I am very happy that each one of you is anxious, each one of you is worried and are saying that the scores are fluctuating, that scores have been stagnant. What it shows us, and Gejo, you may agree with me on this, hopefully, that it shows to me that you are putting in effort. And trust me, my friends, and I've seen this for 20 years, 2 full decades now, that when you are going, it is going to take it, it's a kind of a small curve. It's like an E curve, actually, to be honest with you, E to the power X curve. It'll take time for it to keep going on, but then exponential raise of your marks will happen. And that's 50 days is that we have, and enough time for us to be able to sort this problem out. But yeah, if you don't have a plan, if you're randomly doing anything, I know a lot of people come back and say, so should we take a mock every day? I want to take a mock every day. People are anxious. I mean, it's not even anxious. I don't know. They are, I think, I don't want to use a bad word, but it's like, kya farak padta hai? 50, why? Only why 1 per day? Why can't you take 2 per day? You can do 2 hours, right? Why not 3 per day? There has to be a plan. There has to be a logic. There has to be an idea why you are doing something in the first place. And that, my friends, hopefully we will be able to sort it out before you look at it. Right?
All right.
Gejo?
So, all right. So let's go through this presentation first, Arkss, and then we'll pick up the questions towards the end. So if you pose the questions now, we may not pick it up. So keep the questions towards the end, and we will answer all your doubts and questions, ladies and gentlemen. Arkss, over to you.
Right. So what I'm going to take you through is a very, very short presentation. And in between, wherever I will ask in Gejo after every slide, if Gejo can also add his tippany to that, so that together we will try to do this in the next 20-30 minutes. And then there will always be questions like how to reduce the performance gap. We will figure it out. 50 days to CAT 2020, Gejo and Arkss in front of you, my friends. I hope you will not just enjoy this session, but have something to take home for you to have a very, very specific plan if need be, before we kind of end this. Now, the one question that lots of people ask, and I'm going to answer this question, answer is yes. 50 days are enough. And that is the first statement I'm going to make, whatever scores you are at, 0 scores you are at. But again, I'm only expecting one small thing. It's not that I'm going to start off today. Of course, you can start off today also and get in 50 days. Like Gejo and I were discussing about a girl last year. She is not even a math girl. She was a lawyer, incidentally, for 2 years, working very, very, very 14 hours, 16 hours, very tough job for her. She quit for the last 40, 50, 60 days, and she made it to IIM Lucknow, no less an institute, and an IIM Lucknow, and she is now in IIM Lucknow. Now, I'm sure some of you have heard of her in the interviews that Gejo has taken or GP has taken for that. But then, if one person has done, does not mean everybody else will do. At the same time, if one person can do, the way I look at it is, if one person who is not even a math grad, who is probably a lawyer, has completely lost touch with, even data interpretation, logical reasoning, quantitative ability, and yet crack an IIM Lucknow and a general category at that, not IIM Indore where just your 10th and 12th will help. IIM Lucknow requires everything. I think you can do it. The second thing, of course, is that I really, really expect that you are writing the CDCs, the countdown mocks. The 6th one is up, 7th one is up today, I guess. If I'm not wrong, Ravi Teja will confirm, and making sure that you keep checking your performance and seeing if there is kind of an improvement. Like, I can clearly see the comments that, hey, there is some kind of a value going on. And the third one, and genuinely, trust me, this is important. It doesn't matter whether Gejo tells, Arkss tells, GP tells, somebody else tells that you can do it, or for that matter, you cannot do it. It's easy for somebody else outside your life to tell you what you can or can't. And this is not empty words I'm telling you, my friends. This is not just for the goddamn heck of it that I'm telling you. I have seen that for 20 goddamn years now, I'm telling you. And students, each one of you, if you are ready to believe in yourself that 50 days are enough, trust me, there is enough meat in this entire story. Still, nothing is lost, and you can make the best out of the situation. You can crack at 2021. Gejo.
I think the first slide, I think it was CAT 2020, I think. But that's okay. So the way in which I would want to tell you guys is this. So I don't know how many of you play chess. So if you play chess, you these days there are a lot of these chess engines. There is now Google Alpha, I think. There is Stockbridge, Komodo, and the thing is that you can never beat. Human beings can never beat any of these high-end chess engine. So I think that you should play like the chess engine. The reason why the chess engine works really well is because that chess engine does not know the history, the past. Is when you look at that particular board, he's obviously playing from this moment on, and then this from this moment on, how do I win? So if let's say if today, if you are playing looking at the cat, you should forget about what happened in the past. How does it matter? You had fluctuating source. So what? You had an issue with VRC yesterday. So what? You had a problem with DLR three months before. So what? I think that the way in which you have to start. If I start today, what is the best that I can do in the next 50 days? Number one, ladies and gentlemen, is that you have to figure out how much time that you have. Is it 3 hours every single day? That's 150 hours. If it's 4 hours every single day, that is 200 hours. If it's 2 hours every single day, that is 100 hours. So what you have is a limited amount of time. Number one. Number two, in that limited amount of time, you have to figure out, you can't do everything. Some things. So the idea is that you will have it. We try to do something of everything. What we have to do is everything of something and nothing of other things. I have to look at what are the key things that I'll have to do. I have to bet on in the next 50 days, which is going to improve my score. That, ladies and gentlemen, is an important thing. Therefore, today, if you look at VRC, for example, if you've got how many mocks can you do? 10 mocks. If you do 10 mocks, 10 into 2 is 2 hours. Analysis, another 3 hours. That's about 3-4 hours. That's about 5 hours, 10 mocks, 50 hours for the mocks. Then you have another, let's say, 50 hours or 150 hours to do certain things. So the key is like what Arkss is saying, that you cannot start by saying that if at all I'll do well. That's a wrong way of looking at things. It's wrong way of looking at this. I think the starting point is that I will do well, and I have to figure out what are the key things that I have to do in each of these 3 sections for me to do well. The people who have done the cat, I would want in the chat box to let me know how many you have solved. Cat 2017 two slot, 2018 slew top paper, 2019 2 slots, 23 slots. I think the total is what, 6, 7, 8, 9 papers available. How many of you have done all 9? Give me the number on the chat box. And what is it? Give me the number. How many have gone through the papers completely? This cat previous paper. Give me the number. Yash is saying solve. I'm guessing it is what? It's 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 0,
All
1, 2, 3,
nine
4.
probably. Done
Done
twice is
twice.
Aryan Gupta.
Yeah. So these are the kind of Aryan and Adish and Yash are all the people who understands the cat, right? So we've done all 9. You know cat more than what I know. So if you know cat, you have to start by looking at VR section and figure out what is the skill that I need to improve my bloody score. In DLR session, what are the kind of set that I have to do for sure that I'll get a score. In the QA section, which are the kind of topics that I must do so that I'm going to get the scores high. So we have people, Baivo was saying, I've done 4 times, ladies and gentlemen. So there you have someone who's done 4 times. So that's so yes. So most of you are in the right place. Arkss, I think we can help
Absolutely.
them.
In fact, I'm very clear that if you are able to do that, and if the scores are not improving, then there is a way in which that can also get improved. And that's where we are going to take you through. I'm sure all of you have these numbers. We have shown this some thousands of times in each of our sessions. But once more, it will not harm, because this year, from 76, the total number of questions are expected to come down to anywhere. I mean, to kind of, I don't want to hazard a guess, but 66 to 67 is something which I can think of will be your CAT 2021. Gejo, I don't know whether you'll agree with me, but this is my prediction that the best case scenario, if they're going to reduce, they will reduce by 8 to 10 questions rather than too many of them beyond that. Because if they can look at 2020, but I believe this is going to be unlikely, but let's see on October 27th what will happen. But having said this, the number of questions will reduce. The hours that are available are still the same 2 hours, and for the time for each section is continues to be the same 40 minutes. And hence, more than anything else, this year, the scores will be very, very similar. Scores I'm using, therefore percentages will be higher, but the scores to get a 99. For example, VARC, even if there are 22, 23 questions, from the 26 it comes down, will most probably continue to be 42 marks, give or take 2. Similarly, a DILR, unless the paper is very, very easy, will remain in the same logic. And quant, unless it is really, really easy, because it's I am Ahmedabad, and hopefully you will not get it too less, it will not range beyond 44, 45. That means we are again looking at 99 is 101, and 99.5 will be 112, 130, not beyond that. Gejo, any extra things that you would like to say?
Yeah. So I'm just reiterating the point of view. If you actually look at CAT VARC in 2019, the 99 percentile score was about 63, 64. Given the fact that 102 marks, it's about 65%. Now, if you look at 42 marks, out of the 78 marks in 2020, that was about 54%. But 42 out of 66 marks is going to be 65, 66%. So I think that what you have is 40 minutes. If they give 100 questions or 200 questions, it doesn't matter. What is that I can do, what I can do in this 40 minutes, right, in each of these sections. So you can go with the same marks as your target for next year. One important thing I will want to point out here is if you look at the 95th percentile in each of the 3 sections, you will have the VARC at 11 questions. You have got DLR close to about 8 questions. And then you have maths close to about 10 questions. So that is a 95th percentile score. So you've got, if you add 33 plus 25 plus 29, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that'll be 97, is it?
87.
87, okay. So that
typically anybody gets a 95, 95 will get a 97 percentile.
It's about 97 percentile. So the starting point you have to look at is that is it possible I think we have started this communication about a while ago about is it possible to get the 11 questions correct in VRC or 12 questions correct in VRC, and we have spent a lot of time to reach this particular position. We're still not able to reach there. For instance, I can still say that I have got the next 40 days or 50 days with me. I can still get those 11 questions right. I can still get 8 questions of DILR. I can still question 10 questions of QA. Now the point that you do, especially for all those who have taken the CAT papers, all the paper, list down according to you. You have to teach yourself. You don't need someone else. According to you, what areas of VRC is that your focus area to get that particular score? What focus area in DLR to get the score, and what are the areas that you want to focus? If you don't want to do geometry, don't do geometry. Who asked you to do geometry? But you need to get 10 questions correct, right?
गन्ने के खेत नहीं देखना है तो मत देखो.
So if so that if you without solving arithmetic, if you can get 10 questions correct, so be it. Who cares? I don't care. Nobody cares. So you have to figure out your plan of action. You can't come and tell me, sir, should I do geometry or not? Your call. So what my point of view is that at this point in time, it is absolutely certain. First of all, what is the school that you are targeting? That school requires what percentile? Some schools don't even consider sectional percentile cutoff. There are a lot of schools that don't consider. What is your goal? Put the mark in place. Where am I now? And then identify for each one of them what are the three things. Usko upar nahi karna hai. 3 things in each of the section that I'm going to bet on my life. And the biggest problem that I've seen people doing is that they have done 100 million things. They started with one plan of action, then they change. Then they ask one person advice, then they change. Then they change. So you stick to one idea, your score may dip, go up, doesn't matter. You stick to one plan, be committed to that particular plan and do it. For example, today, if you're saying the reading comprehension, I'm going to do one reading RC passage every single day. I'll read Ion essays, let's say, or some articles every single day. I have the plan. Don't give it up. If you know that that plan works for you, you stick to the plan for the next 40 days. What I want, ladies and gentlemen, for each one of you at this point in time is to have a plan and bloody stick to it. And that does not, don't change the plans, don't ask your friends, don't ask anyone else. One plan and you have to bloody stick to it. Discipline is what is needed in the next 50 days. Be disciplined. Whatever is your feeling about the mock score is irrelevant. What you feel, chuck it out of the window. What you think about mock score, out of the window. It does not matter. All these are learning tools that you have. You have to be disciplined to look at the plan. We can go with each of these section individually and pick up what are the few things that you guys should sort of do. Yeah.
So I will answer this question of yours, Devansh Garg. You say, but they say if you keep doing the same things, results don't change. Same things what? The strategy of writing the exam? Yes, if you continue to do the same strategy of writing the exam, it will not change. But what is changing, Garg, is your knowledge gap is reducing. If you get into that drill that Gejo sir was talking about. And that, I think, is what we are going to talk about today in this particular session as we go along.
Yeah,
I want to reiterate. Sorry.
Sorry. So they want you have to understand something. This is about CAT is a skill-based test, right? It's a skill-based test that which means you have to develop the skill that is required, and skills requires time, and skills require repetition. If you want to be a good driver, you have to keep on driving. That's the only way. So that's the idea. All right. Next slide.
Right.
Yeah.
So one, before I go to the next slide, Gejo, one ways to improve marks before I go into it.
Okay.
I want to, I don't know how many of you have heard Gejo properly. Listen, all of you need to have certain target score or percentile. Now, doesn't mean that you will try for this, but just understand this. Somebody wants to go to a MICA, you'll need a 90 percentile. Therefore, a 90 percentile, the kind of effort, and there will be a 80 percentile requirement for a quant and a 75 percentile requirement for a DILR. If you want to get into a new IIM, a general category student will need only about a 93, 94, 95 percentile overall. You want to get into an IMT Ghaziabad, you will need a 90. I'm not saying you should go there. Please don't mistake me there. All I'm saying is, you want to go into an IIM Ahmedabad, yeah, you might need a 99.8, 99.7, 99.6. The plan that sir is saying, and I'm going to reiterate, is that, friends, you need to know what is it that you want to target. You can't target everything. You can't target anything and everything based on where you are. Based on where you are, have a very realistic target over the next 50 days. like I said, yes, it's more than sufficient to kind of reach whatever target you have, but the target should be realistic. Now, one more thing, Gejo sir has said, I'm going to take it up, Gejo, 2 more minutes before I go into this. We said, if you want a 95 percentile in VARC, you need to get 11 questions correct. Net. So look at the way something else. Let's say the total number of attempts, corrects and wrongs, and therefore if I look at a score is, if I only attempting 11 questions, I will need to get 11 correct and 0 wrong, and my score will be 33. But if I'm attempting, let's say 15 questions, I can get 12 correct and 3 wrong. I will still get 33. Or if I'm attempting 19 questions, I can get 13 correct and 6 wrong, and I can still get 33. Or at 23 questions, a 14 corrects and a 9 questions wrong, I'll still get 33 marks, which is my 95 percentile. What am I trying to say? Is that, boss, where is your accuracy? What is your accuracy? For example, in reading comprehension, is fact-based questions, what is your accuracy? Fact-based inference, what is your accuracy? Main idea, tone, passage, what is your accuracy? Pure inference-based questions, what is your accuracy? You can see it in your drill-down analysis. Now, look at this. I want 14 out of 23. That's 60%. Approximately. So, if any of these areas in RC, similarly para-jumbles or an odd para-jumbles or a para-summary is not giving me more than 60% accuracy, then my next logic in the next 50 days is to increase this accuracy by going, like sir has said, Gejo sir has said, reading same types of questions again and again and again and again, because it's a skill that you're developing. I don't see any difference. Apex, whoever is asking this question, Apex 7, numbers will be exactly the same. If your accuracy in numbers is 50% and you want an accuracy of higher number, you need to go into a lot more of drill down analysis. And here is what I'm saying. There are only 2 ways broadly of improving your marks. One is increase your attempts. How will you improve your? Sorry, Gejo. Do you want to say something?
No. Fine.
Yeah.
Carry on.
There are only 2 ways to increase your marks overall. I'm talking about broadly. Forget about the knowledge gap. One is to increase your attempts. And how do you increase attempts? Somebody is asking. You will increase attempts by stopping wasting the time that you spend on certain questions that you're not able to solve. You get wedded to questions. You get emotional about questions. You feel, that feeling. I think I can solve it. Somebody was telling me that in my other session that I was taking, sir, I feel I can do ranking questions. Ye tumhara feeling kya hai? If you're not getting in 3 minutes, bloody get out of that question. Why are you, like GP sir would say it, boss, you need to flirt with it. Don't get committed to the question. This is not that. Remember, this cat that you are writing this year, and let's say you get into an IIM, you will forget about it in 2 years. You will forget about it in 5 years. I mean, except for people like Gejo and me who have kind of doing the same work, you will not be into cat coaching. You will never remember what on earth did you get to, what on earth you did in the 2 hours to get through these IIMs. So why are you giving so much of an effort into that? You cannot get emotional in an exam. So stop wasting time on questions that you aren't able to solve. If you're not able to solve, even if the best, this happens to me, I'm sure it happens to Gejo also, that he might be the best guy on earth. I mean, on a given day, I can solve any goddamn question. On some days, the most easiest questions also I make a complete fool of myself. And I'm pretty sure that is true for every one of us. And if you can digest this, understand this, you may be an IITN of the highest caliber or a lowest, it doesn't matter. You will see that pick the question in front of you. Either you can solve it or you can't solve it. The moment you know that you can't solve it, get out of the next question. There will always be something else. There will always be something else. In fact, I'm reminded about this IPL match where there were only 4 runs to win in 1 full over with 8 wickets in hand. I think 2 overs, and the team lost. You know that, right? So there is nothing that you will lose till the last minute. You need to keep fighting it out. You never know. The second reason, of course, second thing is take decisions to solve and leave it without emotion. This is a simple thing for increasing attempts. Then the only other area which I was saying, let's say, like I was talking about, let's say 23 questions come in VARC put together. Your target, I'm just giving an example, your target is 95 percentile. You know that you need to get approximately 33 marks. 14 correct and 9 wrong are required. Let's say, if you attempt all of them. Let's say you're attempting all of them, like somebody is saying, and you're getting only 10 correct and 13 wrong. What will you get? You will get 30 plus minus 13. You are getting 17 marks, and 17 marks is giving you a lowly 45 to 55 percentile. Please understand, a 45 to 50 percentile to 95 percentile is a difference of just plus 4 correct answers. That is what I want you to decrease your mistakes. And that is the drill, that is the effort you need to put in for 50 days available to you to change the gear a little. Now, already you are at 14.9. Make it 18 and 7, 18 and 5 rather, sorry, and you are going to be 99.99 percentile. Can you understand that every question that you are able to now get better, you will start getting much higher percentiles. And that will happen in an exam when you concentrate, lot more concentration on what you're doing. Take every mock as if it's a real cat. Every sectional test as a real cat. Like Gejo sir started saying, I don't know how many of you heard it. If it's a topic test, you feel good about it. You'll feel nice about it. But the moment it becomes a CDC, you want to score. Why? Topic test also, you should take the same sincerity as you will take a CDC and the real cat too. And a practice mock or a master mock or a cat original. And once you do that, friends, I think you will do it much, much better. That's my take. Gejo?
Yeah, so I just want to add one small thing. I think what is very frustrating to most of you would be the fluctuation in score. Tell me if it is true. So I think that this will be the huge fluctuation happens with respect to the ARC, unfortunately. So, and you have this tremendous sort of fluctuation in your scores that happens. One test you're very happy, other test you do, and half the time I think when you do analysis, my gut feeling, at least some of you have no idea what went wrong. So, sir, in one test I'm getting this score, other test I'm not getting this score. I said, I don't know what is going on. Therefore, I would come back and say that if you can't find the problem, let's not find the problem. Let's ensure that we are focusing on the process. So therefore, what is important for you? So for this to happen, increasing attempt or decreasing mistake, right? Or improving your accuracy. What does improving your accuracy even mean? For example, what does that mean? How do I know? For example, what should I do in a question to improve accuracy? Should I look at the questions little more better, and then what will I do? So I'm going to focus on what I'm what I'm going to do. So therefore, this is what I would want to say. In the next set of slide, when we are talking about a few things that you should do, all you have to figure out is let's make a simple process in place. Your every week should be predictable. Your every day must be predictable, which means you're doing certain things that you know what you're doing and just keep doing it. After all, what matters also on the day of the cat. And on the day of the cat, automatically you are in your most alert. You are. I don't know how many of you play games, so sports here. You should automatically. I think I've never seen people getting the cat room and having fear the last 20 years. They actually feel that there is one more mock they are taking. And in fact, because you get to the cat room and they make you wait for half an hour, you really want to start the test. That's the whole thing. And it may even happen that your score started with 30 and it came down to 20. Your first mock that you took was the highest score, never reached there. You're almost thinking, maybe I should have just gone and taken the cat, not prepared. All this fluctuation is stored, and then you should just forget all that. What you have to now think of is let's stick on a simple process. And I think the first rule, ladies and gentlemen, is the first thing that I want to do is that I would, no matter what, I will keep on doing the mock CAT CDC. After doing the CDC, no matter what, I will, if it is, VR is the problem, no matter what, I'm going to sit and watch all the video solutions. No matter what, after that particular CDC, I'm going to redo all the question once again. I might pick some learning. I have not realized what I've picked up, but I have picked up something, and keep doing this again and again and again and again and again and again and again, and then leave the improvement to God. Okay, and then there are a lot of things in this world that we can't explain. The reasons as to why skills development happen. The problem, again, I am coming back and saying the same thing again, ladies and gentlemen, is that how many of you have changed plan like 3-4 times? You started with, give me a shout, yes, in the chat box. You started with some idea. After some 3 days, you changed it. You tried different things and tried different things. Give me a shout in the uh, in the chat box, and I'll know that I can see a lot of yes. That's a bloody problem. First problem. Trust your process. Trust your process. Stick to your process, and life will be good. And just because you tried for some time, something didn't work out, and therefore I'm going to try something else. That is the worst thing to do. Yeah, that's all I have to say. So increasing attempt or decreasing mistake will happen if you stick to one particular plan. That's all.
And the reason why, Gejo, it happens to a lot of people that they are changing is because they keep listening to friends. I'm not saying don't listen to friends, please do. But at the same time, please understand that your friend is exactly in similar position as you are. Or the guy who got into an IIM also had no clue 50 days before CAT whether he would get in or not get in. He was also trying. On the day of the CAT, he got it somewhere or she got somewhere, and therefore suddenly believing it that this is the best method may not make sense. I'm not saying it is right or wrong. Please notice that you need to develop your own method of writing an exam.
Right. A lot of you asking a lot of questions. Please do note that I'm keeping a track of all the questions. We'll answer everything. So once we finish the presentation, we'll do. Yeah.
Very quick strategy kind of things as far as your CAT exam. I'm not saying this is a final strategy, but my broad idea of, and each one of this is one type of strategy that you can think of for each of the areas. Decide on the time limits you would give within each section. Within each section I'm talking, because 40 minutes per section is already given. For example, what we will say again and again and again is that whatever plan you may have, stick to the game plan in the actual exam. Don't panic suddenly that you have not solved a few questions. I remember CDC 5 or CDC 6, the first 11 questions were difficult, and the next 11 there were 7 easy questions. If you did not continue to stick to your whatever plan that you did, you would have lost out all the 7, and that's what exactly happened to a lot of people. So sticking to the game plan. And now I'm saying, adding 2 things. One is what Gejo just now said, just keep on doing it again and again and again of what you plan for the next 50 days, and the exam day also the same thing. So here is my quick strategy, and I'll take Gejo's ideas on this also. For quant, for example, the simple strategy could be 5 questions for every 8 minutes. 5 questions for every 8 minutes. There are 40 minutes in your paper. 8 5s are 40, 5 5s are 25. The number of questions in quant will be most probably less than 25. It will be in the 22, 23 range, or 20 max, or 20 the least. So 22, 23 marks, 5 questions for every minute, almost like a topic test. Can you reach there? That could be one possibility. I'm just giving you one. The round 1, round 2 also is another possibility. Similarly, DILR. Any set that you do, any set that you pick, max time you will give to a set is 10 minutes. Many a time, you keep on giving the 13th, 14th, 15th minute to one set, thinking that if I can crack 2 full sets in 15 minutes, I will get my 95 percentile. Theoretically, it is right. Theoretically, this statement is right. But please understand the panic that you go through. In fact, Gejo, I don't know if I can take half a minute. For some reason, I was seeing this movie, Sully. I don't know how many of you have seen this, that Captain Sully had landed his airplane on the Hudson River. He got into an inquiry commission. NTSB was inquiring, and they made some simulations, computer simulations, and said, listen, you could have gone back to LaGuardia or other terminal. One important thing everybody else missed out who were going through this investigation against whether there was a human error or not, is that simulation does not account for human fear, human decision making, human errors itself. So the theoretically 15 minutes per set, 2 sets I will do it, is a great idea. But if in that first 15 minutes you don't solve that one set that you thought you could solve, the next 15 and the last 10 minutes also will be gone for a toss. Hence, to mitigate your problem or to minimize your the issue with your section, my suggestion always has been, boss, up to 10th minute, you go ahead and solve it. If at all you are getting closer to the solution. And after 10 minutes, let's say you have solved only 2 questions or 3 questions out of the 4 that are given in that set. Don't worry about it. Leave it. Come back to it if you have ever time, because there are other possible easy questions there. Not seeing questions sets in the exam hall is a criminal offense according to me, and that I think you cannot do. And that will be like you can kicking your backside off when you backsides when you come out of an exam. I don't want you to do that. And the third one, of course, this is something around 40 minutes we have, whatever it is, somewhere around 27 to 30 minutes is what you can give it to an RC, and a 30 minutes to 10 minutes for a VA. Try solving all passages. This is my broad strategy for your exam. The most important thing is, of course, in every section, sticking to the time limits is very, very sacrosanct. When I say that basic time limits, you don't have to solve all questions. Reading and trying to attempt all questions is important, but actually marking all questions may not even be important at all, for a simple reason that there will be difficult questions within a set also. Within RC also, we have seen that in every CDC we've shown you, that look, there will always be one question among the 4 easy questions where you could have made a mess out of it because it was not easy. The choices were not easy. When I'm saying the question is not easy, the choices were very, very close or were not easily resolvable. And that, my friends, is your final strategy. Before I go into giving you an exact plan of what will you do 50 days, I thought this will be a starting point before we go into the next game. Gejo.
I just have one thing to say. People become Superman during mock test. They behave very differently. They go to a different planet. And so suddenly after some time, people start reading passages. In the middle of it, realize, I don't know what I just read. I think what you'll have to do is that whatever it is, you have to play within your limitations, right? When I'm reading, whether it is DLR set or a QA set or VRC section, what you have to do is that you have to read at the pace of your comprehension. There is no need to in the worry of, let's say I have to finish it in 8 minutes, 10 minutes. Or the best that you can do is that play to your strength. If you understand the passage, I'm telling you, every CAT passages, if you understand the passage, you'll get 9 marks. The problem that happens half the time, the reason why you get stuck in questions, is about you're not reading, comprehending the passage really well. Half the time you're looking at DLR set. You have finished set solving the you started solving also. You have no idea what you're doing. Because you feel like solving the question randomly marking, then you're going by direct check it, read it properly. You read a QA set and then you start suddenly doing some random things. Read it properly and try and make sense. So I think whatever is a strategy, at the end of the day, to me, no strategy is better than knowing who you are and playing to a strength. And there is just one simple strategy, is that don't get stuck in any question. That is all. So if you can don't reject a question just by the look of it, don't get stuck in a question. That's a simple sort of logic strategy that you should work. That's my take.
Oh, Gejo, your voice is breaking actually for some reason.
All right, I think that there is a problem in the net connection. Carry on. I'll talk towards the end.
Right.
Yeah.
I understand that, Mrinal, Malloy and all. We will continue this. Now, here is what the plan for mocks, according to me, is maximum write 13 to 5. I'm not saying don't write mocks. I'm saying we have 7 weeks to go, 8 weeks to go, 7 6 weeks to go. Sorry, 6 sevens are 42 plus 1 week extra. Sorry, 7 sevens are 49. 7 weeks to go. Starting today, I'm also going to give you a Sunday to Sunday plan in a moment, in about 5-10 minutes from now. But max is this: do not write every day one mock. It's actually a waste of time. You are not going to improve. The reason why you need to write a mock is so that you figure out where it is going wrong, so that the intervening period between 13 and between every mock can be used to look at some improvements, and how and what improvement and what drill down coming up in shortly. In other words, what I'm saying is a mock in every 3 days maximum. The day of the mock is for analyzing the strategy for the mock and solving questions in the mock cat. Completely questions, going through the video solutions if required be. If you don't have to sleep for a night for that night, please don't sleep. But make sure that you will go through every question. Even that, for example, somebody said, sir, can I leave geometry? I said, yes, please go ahead and leave geometry as far as your preparation is concerned. But when the mock happens and you come out of a mock, in the exam, you obviously would have left it, right? In the exam, you would have left it because you thought I will not do geometry. But there are 3 questions in the mock given to you in the CDC or the practice exam or the master or the original CAT. 3 or 4 questions. Try solving them. Give at least 2.5 minutes to try solving them. Let's say you don't get it. No problems. See the solution. See the video solution if required be. After seeing the video solution, close the solution and see if you can once again use it to solve it once more. I know it's going to take a time, but do that. What is going to happen is that you may not really spend too much of time, but slowly and steadily, there is some kind of a process which is happening in your brain, which will start recognizing the pattern. Trust this very important fact. Whether it is reading comprehension, para summary, para jumble, deep data interpretation questions, or a logical reasoning sets, or a quant question, every one of these is a pattern. The more, the more comfortable you become with the pattern, the more scores you will start getting, more comfortable you will start making yourself. That is the most important thing. And that is the reason why this third point is extremely important. I know for a fact that a lot of people don't do the entire mock analysis. A few of them, of course, do it, but a lot of them don't do it. How on earth can they improve marks in the next section, in the next mock, if this mock you have not done what is required to be done? And then the next 2 days after a mock is for preparation and revision. How to do revision will be the next part of my discussion. Idea is, can you improve between every 2 mocks? 3 questions extra, 3 types of questions extra, 3 concepts extra. While it will not theoretically happen or even practically happen, theoretically, I am gunning for a 9-mark increase. For example, I will come down to that, but I'll redo this again for you. Let's say I have written my mock today. This is Sunday. Today is not Sunday, right? This is Saturday 9th of October. Or let's say Sunday the 10th of October. Let's say you write this. You would have got marks. Monday and Tuesday, I pick up my topic called T, S, and D, the time, speed, and distance, and then look at all the questions in the previous 7 mocks that I have written. In the previous 7 mocks, TSD would have at least about 3 questions each. That means 21 questions I will solve again. On the second day also, I will solve again TSD. What will I do? Do this 21 once again. And all the original, lots of people have said that I have done all the 9 mocks, original CATs of CAT 17, 18, 19, and 21, and 20, sorry. And then some master series. So another 9 into 4, 9 into 3, 27, 28 questions. In 2 days, only on TSD, can you do 45 questions of the previous mocks and the original CAT papers mocks. When you go to Wednesday and do a mock there, you will see that your comfort zone on that TSD type of a question will become manifold on that day. Now, this is Wednesday over. There is a Thursday and a Friday. Pick, let's say, sequence and series. Sequence and series, or that is arithmetic progression, geometric progression. Do the same thing. 20 questions here and AP-GP once again. 20 questions here on Thursday, Friday, and even Saturday maybe. 60 to 70 questions. 3 days. Then the next Sunday when you write from 10th to 17th of Sunday, there are two topics. There are two topics where you know the various kinds of questions which have come in your previous mocks and the CAT papers of two very, very important topics in, let's say, one in arithmetic and one in algebra. One in arithmetic and one in algebra. 7 weeks are there, guys. 7 topics. 7 topics. There are only 6 topics in algebra, so to say, and 6-7 topics in TSD. In fact, you can do more topics in arithmetic you want. You can add geometry also. You can add numbers also and some miscellaneous also. You will start seeing that by the time you go to the exam hall, you will get very, very comfortable with this. The problem what happens, unfortunately, is you do on one day 20 questions without any plan. Next day, 20 questions without any plan. Third day, some other plan. Fourth day, some other plan. And you will feel, yaar, main itna kaam kar raha hu, how much of work I am doing, but why on earth, goddamn earth, that my scores don't improve? How will they improve? They will only improve if you do it in a very, very, very structured, drill down method like this. And same is true for everything else. For the other areas, we will come back to that. Gejo, if you want to add.
So my net connection is very bad. So is my voice? I'm guessing my voice is breaking. So you continue. I'll chip in when this is fine later. Yeah.
Right. Fair enough. The next thing, like we talked about, reducing the mistakes, you will probably get many questions as you go along. Now, here is the drill that I'm going to quickly take you through one by one. To my mind, the most important topics obviously will be arithmetic. Within arithmetic, percentages, averages, time and work, and time, speed, and distance. You can expect 7 to 9 questions or 8 to 10 questions in this year's paper. Algebra, QE, the series and sequences, inequalities and logarithms. 6 to 8 questions will be there. Geometry, mensuration, 3 to 4 questions. Numbers, 1 to 2 questions. Now, week 1, I am saying 10th to 17th October. Week 2, 17th to 25th October or 24th October. Week 3, 24th to 31st October. Week 4, 1st to 7th November. Week 5, 8th to 15th November. Week 6, 16th to 23rd November or 22nd November. Whatever that number may be, guys. Don't worry about it. Take the numbers. Now, can I do something like this very, very, very specifically? This week, I will concentrate on percentages and let's say quadratic equations. Nothing else. From Shubham, you have asked this question, sir. I have topic tests, I have sectional tests, I have master series, I have CDCs, I have practice mocks, I have original CATs, I have QA 1000, I have this and that. Don't worry. Pick this, and this week, your drill for quant will be these 2 topics. Next week, it will be averages and series. Third week, time and work, inequalities and numbers. Fourth week, time, speed and distance, logs and geometry. Fifth week, arithmetic, again percentages and averages, geometry and numbers. Sixth week, you will probably go back to time and work and time and distance, QE and series, and probably forget about number, series and things. And we have week 7 coming up. It's the last week of your CAT. I am saying, can you pick these ways of solving, saying that my drill is I will pick up all the previous mocks that I have solved and maybe a little sectional test. If you have your class sheet or a workshop sheet, sheet, that also I will solve, but only from these areas for 6 days, of which 5 days will be your analysis days. Remember this. On those 5 days, can you solve 20-25 questions per day? 20-25 questions per day of those areas. Which means in a week, you will do 125 questions on an average into 600 questions, 750 questions you will solve. 750 questions from the previous CDC mocks, original CAT papers, and the practice exercise that you have already solved. If you need more, go back to sectional test, note more questions, sectional tests, or your topic tests too, or QA 1000 or DILR 1000 or VARC 1000 that is available to you. If you do this as a drill, boss, it doesn't matter where you are in quant, you will start suddenly seeing that you will be able to solve 14-15 questions that Ravi Teja was saying in the very beginning of this entire session, and that could be clearly a 99 plus percentile. I'm saying even if you don't get 99 percentile, those of you who are not of that level caliber or feel that you can get it, 95 percentile kahin nahi gaya 10 question ke liye. And that I think is a very, very important point that I want to say. So pick 3 subtopics or 2 subtopics for every 3 days of work between walks. For these, solve 20-25 questions in each from the CDCs you have already done. Exactly what I've said. Use the drill down analysis to do it in a very, very, very specific manner. Is this clear? I hope if you have heard me clearly, can somebody give me a yes up, no up, didn't understand, yes understood, some kind of an indication to me on the chat, please? You can, Sandeep. Okay, clear is what? All subjects, Devina, at this stage might make sense, frankly. Very nice, very nice. Quite a lot of you are understanding what I'm saying. Now I'm going to give you similar kind of things for DILR and for VARC also very, very clearly. Okay, just listen to me and you will see that there is a serious way in which you can crack every section as we go along. Now let's look at data interpretation. Now data interpretation will have a lot of areas. First and foremost, your 7 or 8 types of questions, that is your DIs. Tables and its variants which are there. I would say bar charts and line graphs as one area. Pie charts as one area. Spider graphs and scatter plots as another area. Tournaments and games. Then Venn diagrams and maxima minima and a little minimum miscellaneous. Once again, I would say the same thing. I have week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, and week 6. Week 1, I will concentrate only on tables and nothing else. Tables and variants of tables or all kinds of questions in tables. If you look at your CDCs, your DILR 1000 that we have done, or the practice exercise, or the master series, or this one, you can pick every week. Again, please understand, in this entire week, on a Sunday you are writing a mock. Let's say on a Wednesday you are writing a mock. That means you have only a Monday and a Tuesday, and a Thursday, Wednesday, and a Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Only 5 days to go. Correct? I am expecting on the day of the mock, you will only do the mock, nothing else. But these 5 days, week 1 for DI, pick up only tables and variants. Week 2, only pick up bar charts and line graphs. And if possible, because there are not so many of them, pie charts also. Week 3, all the types of miscellaneous graphs, spider graphs, scatter plots, box diagrams, etc. Week 4, purely on tournaments, games. 5 days you have in between. Each day you do 4 sets into 5. That means 20 sets of tables and the types you do. 20 sets of games and tournaments you do. 20 sets of these you do week by week. And Venn diagrams week 6, week 5 will be, let's say, Venn diagram. By the way, you can start with Venn diagrams in this week. You can start with tours and tournaments this week. I am giving you a broad idea. You decide what you want to do. How do you decide from your drill down analysis what is your worst area? Probably there cannot be a set. There cannot be a set which will come in CAT exam. There will not be a set in the CAT exam. With this level of drill down that you do for 5 days a week of those areas only, apart from the mock you are doing, by the 7th week you get into November 21st to 28th. Your confidence levels, your familiarity levels, your recognition of pattern and difficulty levels of every DI type of set will be at a completely different level altogether. Trust me when I'm saying this. I have seen that people doing it. And when you do this, you will not lose your calm because your confidence is very, very high when you are solving this question. Is that clear? Again, I am not going to take too much of time. Exactly the same thing I want to do for logical reasoning also. So in other words, DI 4 sets and LR 4 sets per day, if you can do. If you can't do 4, you don't have so much of time. Somebody says, sir, I'm studying, working for 14 hours. I don't have so much of time. No problems. What is the best you can do? Can you do DI 2 sets and LR 2 sets a day? You will still do 10 sets in that week, 10 sets for each of the areas. And this is going to be very, very important, arrangements and distribution. So you might have to do it for 2 full weeks this itself. 2 full weeks, only arrangements and group discussion, or even out of the 6 weeks available, I am saying 3 weeks, you please spend time on this. 1 week on other cubes and Venn diagrams. 1 week on this. And the rest of it 1 week. 6 weeks. If you have more time, do more. If you can't, at least do 2 sets. But I can guarantee you one thing. So the same sets AS. In fact, somebody is asking, what is the source? The source of these questions should be from the drill down analysis. You can see from your previous mocks only. Don't try to do newer things all the time. Because if you keep on doing new things all the time, you are not going to make anything great. Please understand that you will be all over the place and you are not learning anything at all. Remember, if you want to improve, like if you want to be a Bumrah and get your Yorkers right, or like the Natarajan guy who is getting your Yorkers right, you can't be playing all of them in the exam. You can't be writing all the mocks. If you keep only playing matches and 2 balls of your attempted Yorkers go as a full toss and goes for 2 sixes, you can't even attempt it after that. So what do you do to become good in Yorkers, to become very brilliant in getting your Yorkers right? You use that in practice stage. Go to the practice net and keep bowling at the right place. That is the thing. That is the practice I'm asking you to do. In the mock, you will do whatever is best possible at that point of time. The mock is a strategy game. The practice is a completely different game altogether. Is that clear? And if those of you have, yeah, it is absolutely correct, Gautam. It is net practice and nothing else. Because without the practice you go, maybe you will do, but you will get a 90 percentile, 95 percentile. Like remember, Gejo sir said, the first mock that you did, you went without any expectation and you will do. That is your best performance probably. But then your ability is not increasing at all. And that ability has to increase. And that ability will increase what I am telling you to do if you do it in a very, very structured manner. Again, structured manner. Right? And last but not the least, let's look at reading comprehension also. Once again, use the drill down analysis for solving the types of questions. Now, here is what I'm going to say for a minute. Just listen to this very, very carefully from your understanding. You will see in the drill down analysis, go to the drill down analysis, you will find that, okay, there are fact-based questions, the total number of questions, your attempts, your accuracy is given. Similarly, fact-based inference questions are given. Inference questions are given. You will see your accuracy percentage somewhere or the other. Now, if the accuracy, like I said, was less than 60%, let's say for inference questions, if you have done, remember this, if there are 18 questions of RC in each mock, approximately 10 questions will be inference itself on an average, maybe 9. If you look at the 10 previous mocks, you would find inference alone, there will be 100 questions. And you would have attempted some 95 questions and your accuracy would have been 50%. What I would expect you to do is, again, I have 5 days. Remember this? Week 1, I will practice only inference-based questions. How do I do it? I will go to this drill down analysis, click on these things. Day 1, that is day 1, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. There are 5 days I have still. I am expecting that you will write a mock on Wednesday and a Sunday, guys. On Monday, from these 100, I pick up 8 questions, 8 passages. 8 to 10 questions, 8 passages. I'll read the passage once again. It's a second reading of the same passage. And I have a question with the 4 choices. I will try to solve them there. 8 questions. Give myself about 2-3 minutes per question, 16 to 20 minutes. That's it. Read quickly, or even 30 minutes you give. Read quickly and do these 8. Next day, another 8. Next day, another 8. Next day, another 8. Next day, another 8. That means at the end of 1 week, you would have done 40 inference questions with 40 passages of different genres. Look at what you're doing, a second level of drilling, because then the if it's a philosophy, it's a science-based question, it's an economy-based question, it's a history-based question, whatever it is, 40 passages you are rereading them and doing 40 questions with looking at the question, looking at the 4 choices, looking at what's the right answer to. What will that help you? How will that help you? Check every question right or wrong as well. For every wrong answer, give yourself reasons why that cannot be the answer. It's like rubbishing your own answer that you have marked. You can see the solution also later, but rubbish your reason for why that answer is wrong. Because you're only doing 8 questions of inference of your drill. Remember this. What will help? And then, of course, please go back to Gejo sir's or anybody, Rahul sir's video solutions also. The thinking will develop. Once the thinking develops, your reading comprehension, those of you are getting 50% accuracy, starts becoming 65, 60, 67, 65 to 68, or even 70% accuracy. If that 70% accuracy comes for those of you who are less than 50, you are great. Those students who are at 70, 75% accuracy can go to 80, 85%. If you are getting something like 14 correct out of 18, you can go to 15 correct of 18 or 16 correct of 18, 16 out of 18 also. You'll have to just try this. But this is the drill that I'm expecting you to do. And the next one is again verbal abilities. Same ways. 5 questions a day for 5 days a week. Every day you do this. In other words, I'm saying 15 questions of verbal ability or 20 questions of verbal ability per day for 5 days. That's 75 questions. Just a simple drill with the same idea that I'm asking you to do, where you will give yourself the reasons why something cannot be the answer of what you got it as wrong. And of course, see the explanation given to you. But one last thing that I will tell you is make sure that all the words that come in that verbal RC passage from every mockat, also make a note of this if you can. That will take you 15 more minutes extra. In other words, now look at what I'm expecting you to do. I'll give you this plan. What I'm expecting you to do is quant 25 questions if you solve on a weekday. 25 questions into 3 minutes. Maximum 60 minutes is what I'm asking you to spend to 75 minutes on a day. 3 minutes per question. Because it's the same type of question, the confidence will go up. DI, 2 to 4 sets. Maximum 60 minutes. LR 2 to 4 sets, maximum 60 minutes. If you're only 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. RC minimum 8 questions on the drill, 30 to 40 minutes. And VA 15 questions, 30 minutes. And extra words, 15 minutes. You are talking about 75 plus 15, 90 minutes plus 30, 120 plus 120, 240 minutes. That's about 4.5 hours on the 5 days of a week. Can you do this in the business end of your plan? Business end of your CAT, 4.5 hours, absolute drill. Can you be in a position to do that? Guys, I'll need some kind of an answer from each one of you. And then the same thing, I'll put it up in a nice manner of what you need to look at it. Can we look at that very, very clearly? Gejo?
Yeah, my net is bad, Arkss. So
no problems. If you can just add, you are answering that absolutely yes is what a lot of people are saying. Guys, this will get you a nothing less than 95 to 97 percentile. Nothing less. I'm saying some of you can get much more than that also. Gejo, if you can just add something which I've spoken.
Yeah. So I don't know how the voice is breaking. I have no idea. But I think that what Arkss is actually saying is that you have to keep the plan absolutely simple and focus on and continue to do it every single day. I think that what you have to make is your life very predictable in the next 50 days. You should know Monday what you're going to do, Tuesday what you're going to do, Wednesday what you're going to do, Thursday what you're going to do, Friday what you're going to do, Saturday what you're going to do, Sunday what you're going to do. You know what you want. So you would have every week do the same thing again and again. So you have Monday, this is this particular day. Tuesday, this is this day. Wednesday, I have this day. Thursday, I have this day. Friday, I have this day. I would want to tell you is tell you one simple thing is that if you take the mock, redo all the question once again without looking at the solution, watch all the videos and do this for every single mock, this itself will improve your score. The problem that most happens, Arkss, I'm telling that people don't redo the questions.
Exactly.
So that's what I want to say. Typical Sunday to Sunday plan, just stick to it. Believe in Arkss, just stick to it. I think life will be cool. Yes.
Right. Absolutely. Shravan Raj is saying, I did this QA drill and I got 98 percentile in CDC6. I'm saying, don't worry about one mock. Don't worry about one goddamn practice exercise or a CDC. What I am saying, what I put it across, can you make this kind of a Sunday to Sunday plan? You know you're writing a CDC Sunday or a Saturday, by the way. It could be a Saturday to Saturday plan. Don't say that, yaar, Arkss ne bola hai Sunday, therefore I'll do Sunday. No, make it Saturday also if you want. But make this plan. Make this clear that nothing will change this. Now, I've started giving you an idea. TSD on 2 days. Then sequence and series on 1 week. This is my week 1 plan. Week 2 plan will be something else. Week 3 plan will be something else. Week 4 plan will be something else. But make this plan. Today is a Saturday, right? Today is a Saturday. Can you please make a plan today for what you're going to do from tomorrow to next Saturday? How do you make a plan? Look at your worst mistakes in your drill down analysis. Look at how bad you are in something and pick up the ones which you are so fearful about first. That is what the first 1-2 weeks should be. Because the last 3 weeks should be you should concentrate on what you are the best at. Because when you go into the exam hall on that last day of the exam, you should be like with the most highest josh of saying that of what I'm good at, I'm going to kind of do the best possible. So start in the next 2-3 weeks with the things which are worst at. And 3 weeks into November will be completely the ones which are your strengths. If you can do that, you will be great. Sudhanshu Badole, sir, I guess exhausted in the DLR section. I have no energy for QA. All I can say, my Sudhanshu, is that take a deep breath. Keep chai with you. Keep some water with you. Drink. I am telling you, think that, boss, I want to get into that I am Ahmedabad. Think that I want to go into that I am Calcutta. Nothing will stop. Think about it. Will you get exhausted if you have seen a movie or watching a play or meeting your girlfriend and suddenly feel exhausted? I mean, don't tell me this. Please. Sorry.
Your presentation is still on, so
One last thing. The final word I wanted to say, and then we'll go it. Guys, 50 days can make a huge difference. I'm going to take one more minute before I kind of get back or get out of the presentation and then discuss question by question. But it is obvious to me that if you are really keen, 50 days can make a huge difference. And to my mind, you can easily add 50 marks to the current score, which could be a jump off from 60-65 percentile to a 90-95 percentile, even from today. Even at 30-40 percentile, you can go to something like 75-80 percentile at the bare minimum. Bare minimum. As long as you stick to this plan. And today's 90 percentile of CAT, not CL. CL 90% is already 95 percentile for you. But I'm saying, if our CAT predicted percentile tells you 90, you can still go to 99 in the next 50 days. The only thing, the anxiety, etc., but the only thing that you can do is cannot waste your time thinking about life beyond 28th of November. Life beyond 28th of November will happen. The world will exist. 99.9999900 times will exist. Despite COVID, we existed, right? It will exist. There will be an utal-putal in life, but don't think about the result. You can make it to the best schools, and we are here to help you, always there. Gejo, GP, Ravi, Rahul. In fact, I have a huge number of Shivku and a huge number of other faculty members across the country whose name I don't say, but there are more than 100, 120 of them who are on a regular basis helping, directly or indirectly. Take the best out of it. And we are there, Arkss and Gejo too, to make sure that you get to what you deserve, you get to what you desire to. With that, Gejo, I'll stop it here, and maybe we can take the questions.
Take some questions. So let's start from Anushka. If I start with BA first, then go to RC in the mocks, how much time? Okay, so first of all, it doesn't matter whether you start with VA or start with RC. What actually matters is that you ensure that you spend about 1.5 minutes on an average VA. That's what matters. You've got a comment for you.
Sorry?
This one is for you.
Thank you so much, Anushka Paul. Thank you very much. But make sure that this session, if it is really good, you will promise yourself and to both of us that you will do this drill. We will see the value of it on the 28th of November for sure. That's my guarantee.
So is it better? The voice is better now? No camera,
it's slightly better. Definitely, it's better.
So let me pick up some questions. I think there is Rajat has a question. 49 days, 13 mocks equal 36 practice days per day, max 4 hours, 4 DI plus 4 LR. It looks like one DI set only.
Yes, Rajat. Very decent background. Very decent. If you can do this, nothing like it.
Yeah. So this is another question from Arpit. Arkss, I'm confused
to focus on NMAT or focus on CAT. Arpit, depends on when you're writing NMAT. If the NMAT is this month, in the next 15-20 days, I would say instead of taking 2 mocks a week for CAT, I would say take 1 mock only, the CDC for sure. And instead of the practice mock on a Wednesday, my suggestion is take the NMAT mock on a Wednesday. The drill will not change because it doesn't make any difference. The only extra thing is, instead of solving very high level LR or DI sets for that matter, what I can tell you is, please spend time on doing the sectionals of NMAT on one of the intervening days. Beyond that, I think your focus on CAT will hugely help your NMAT also.
Another question. I already got 90 percentile in CAT 2020. So what can be the jump if I follow this for the next 50 days?
If you are targeting anything less than 99 percentile, then I think you are wasting your time and my time. That's the minimum I am going to expect that you will get there.
So if I want to add the 90 percentile last year would have been a score of
76.
about 65 marks, I believe.
65. Right.
So if you want to reach about 99 percentile or any other improvement, you would want to add probably another 30 odd marks. But 30 odd marks is just about 10 questions, which is on an average 3 questions per section. So one more DLR set you have to solve, one more area of quant you have to pick up, one more RC that you have to do or PA you have to do. So you'll have to work out on a simple plan to address that. That's what.
Absolutely.
So what else? So let's book it.
YouTube user,
Okay.
when can we expect the rest of the QA 1000 videos in the next 8 to 10 days?
Yeah. Utkarsh has a question. I put it on the screen.
When we would get to know how many questions would come this 27th or 28th of October, Utkarsh, most likely.
So we have got for you again, Arkss, for you.
I cannot explain how much this session helped me. Thank you so much. Shreya, please make this count, and we are here to ensure that you get there too.
All right, we have got another question. Jairaj has a question. Sir, I've written at most 3 to 4 mocks till now. What shall I do? How can I do the drill down analysis? Should I first give all the previous mocks and then start your plan? Stay home. I don't know what.
No, Jairaj. You please continue with the plan, except that you have done only 4 mocks. Fair enough. But there are other original CAT papers which are available to you, sectional tests you might have done, or forget about all the things. You would have done some class sheets that you have done. For the next 2 weeks, just in 2 weeks, you would have done 3 plus 3, 6, almost 5 mocks at least extra. 5 plus 4 that you have done, 9 mocks. You will have enough ammunition by the third week from today. You will have enough ammunition. Till that time, whatever you have done, please go back to your class sheets and revise the questions of whichever area you want to focus on from that area. That's all I can say.
Just add one thing, Arkss, here. First of all, there is this problem that all of us have. Just because I have got 10 mocks lying down does not mean I have to complete everything.
Yeah,
don't create this random syllabus that you created for yourself. All I have to do is I've got the next 50 days, I've got let's say 200 hours, 150 hours. What the best I have to do? Look forward. Don't worry about what happened behind. Move forward, ladies and gentlemen. We've got okay, so we have got so there is this question Yatendra has.
In 2019, one of your probable DILR sets came in the actual CAT. Will there be a similar session this time? We will do that, Yatendra Srivatsava. Not immediately, but somewhere around the first or second week of November. We will do that after we know how many sets are going to happen.
Okay, so we have got many more questions. Let me pick a few more. One more for you. Okay, so I think I've already showed this. So let me get, sir, my scores are 40 marks. I want to push it by 30, 40 marks. How to do that? In QA, I'm not aware of geometry or math. Should I need to concentrate on the area? So what should be my plan? So like I said, the 30 more marks would be about 10 more questions, right? So depends upon which school you want to target, right? Some of the school does not have huge sectional cutoffs. For example, sectional cutoff for most of the IM hovers around 80th percentile, 85 percentile. So when you look at the sectional cutoff, so 85th percentile in QA, for example, would be about a score of about 24, 8 questions, right? So what you can then plan to do is that, okay, I'll for QA, I'll plan to clear the cutoff, but I would want to get the next 10 marks from somewhere else. Or maybe in DLR, I want to clear the cutoff, I would want to keep from QA or VA. What I'm saying, Mr. Reddy, is that you should be absolutely certain in terms of what is your game plan and create the plan and life will be good. Yeah. I think my connection gone or your connection, I don't know. One of my connection. Yeah. Arkss, let me pick another
there's one Harshit who is asking continuously one question to you.
So let me pick Harshit.
Yeah.
How to select the RC and go ahead while doing the mock? When I solve, it seems doable. There is no need to select anything. Do solve all RC, no. But why by select? It's like saying CAT has given you 3 RC. You say, no, CAT, I don't need your RC. Keep it with you. I will only solve 2. Why? I went 3, do all 3. I think you make it very sensible. You first RC, you read it properly, aram se. You don't have to solve all the 5 questions. What you need to do is that if the question confuses you, chuck it and move to the next question. But there is no need to select and all. Okay, so just start from the first question, keep doing everything. That's my take.
Yeah,
Unless of course you take unless of
yeah.
course you take 15 minutes to solve an RC. Even if you take 15 minutes to solve an RC, it is because you are getting stuck in question. Three minutes you spend in one or two questions, it goes to 15. You are a little sensible. I would want you to watch every single video of mine, which is there in that CDC mock test by now. So watch the 5 videos. I'm sure that your life will change.
Absolutely. Acha, Tasneem is crying. What is their question? I don't know. How to do verbal ability? That's a very broad-based question from Tasneem Khan. Gejo,
Where is it? I can't. What is the question?
8:54 p.m.
Oh, dice rolled is rolling a dice like anything. Tasneem Khan is sorry. How to do verbal ability? That's a good question. So the way in which you want to do verbal ability at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, it's about one skill: comprehension. That's it. There is passage comprehension. There is paragraph comprehension. That's all. Paragraph summary, what's in a paragraph, paragraph jumble, or paragraph comprehension, reading comprehension. This is basically about comprehension. So the key that you have to do is improve your comprehension skills. Simple. So every single day, it's you have to take you look at first step that you want to do is look at all the previous year's CAT papers, keep solving one RCA or one RCA every single day, about 3 other BA questions every single day, learn from every question, build the skills, and life will be good. So I would want to strongly encourage the same. If you've taken the CDC mock test, I would strongly encourage after the test to go through all the videos, solution that I've done. I think that you will get more than enough ideas to improve your skills. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I've got any suggestion on how to revise and retain?
Kuldeep, I have given the entire suggestion. If you have not heard my session today, may I request you to go through this session, which will be available. You can do it at a fast forward pace to understand how to get that revision from the previous mocks as well as the other papers that are available to you. I would like you to go through that.
That was a very interesting question. There are more than 800 topic tests given by CECL. I have completed only about 100. So should I focus on completing all the topic tests? Should I focus on sectional tests more?
See, it's like this. As of today, within each of the days, if you want to do a few more topic tests, you can do it. But I don't think today is the time to worry about how many of the topic tests are, not done. I would still want you to concentrate primarily on two things: the mocks that you're doing and the mocks that we are giving you right now. We'll be giving about 12, 13 mocks from today, including the CDCs and practice mocks, and the 9 other original CAT papers that you already have, apart from whatever else that you are subscribed to. Whether it's a VARC 1000, DILR 1000, QA 1000, definitely go through the videos, because each one will not give you in a per day will not take away more than 30 minutes. That's point number one. Sahil Khanna is asking continuously, if I have not given any original CAT papers till now, what should you do? I'm saying, instead of the practice mock on a Wednesday, I would say go ahead and give an actual CAT original paper. That's also available to you. If you have the time. If you don't have the time, at least take the sectional test from those original CAT papers, because we have given you as a flexi mocks also, where you can take it only as a individual sectional tests too. Either which way, make sure that you do it over the next 6 weeks. That's my simple answer.
So for I think Chayan's question is everybody's question. So let me answer this question to everyone. See, what are we trying to do here? We are trying to get into IIM. That is all. We don't want to be great mathematicians. We don't want to be great in anything. We just want to ensure that we get an opportunity to get into IIM. Therefore, why am I studying? Why am I studying? What is the objective of my study? My study is therefore to get that bloody score. And then I look at what is it I have to do now to get the score. Whether it is you are looking at 800 topic test I have, I should complete it. This many section tests I have, I should complete it. You are having a different objective only. All of you are having objective is that I have to complete something. That what you look at is I'm going to bloody 50 days. What is that I have to do to improve my bloody score? And it has to start with the mock test. Analysis of the test. I'm going to do this. So therefore, whether you have 800 topic tests or 1000 topics is irrelevant. You have to do it if you believe that is going to improve your score. Period and simple.
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, don't look at, I'll just reiterate once more, taking Gejo's words once again. Yeah, the idea is not to complete. The idea is, where is your problem, and focus on that problem to improve on. That's it.
Yeah.
And for that, if it takes you to do more tests, please do. If it doesn't take you and you want to do more practice, do practice. And like Akash, you're asking whether you can go from 50 to 100. That's exactly the reason why this session is there. I am telling you, yes, you can go from 50 to 100, provided you do it in a very structured manner. That's it.
Dice roll is like gambling, man. He has a very ungambling question. Giving 2 mocks a day can handle my prep. Giving not your prep, your health. Okay, so your life. And why you have to give 2 mocks per day? So you have to give it for the last 10 days. I have a lot of extra mocks. The same question. It's the same issue. I think that you have to do something to improve your score. Not just because you have stuff to do. Right. So that is the whole thing that I look at. So I've got some more questions. Let me.
I will answer one thing, one small thing to this dice rolled, whoever that is. We just now said there's no point in trying to complete anything. It is not that you are going for a full meals and therefore saying that yaar jitna pee sakte hain pee lo, jitna kha sakte hain kha lo, kind of things, because it's a buffet kind of things. Please eat as much as your stomach can take. Full stop. Keep that in mind.
We're going to pick 5 more questions. I'm hovering around 110 to 115. How to reach 130? Going from 50 to 100 is easier. Yeah. So, which is 110 also essentially means that you're probably in the cat about 99.5 percentile, right? So you are now planning to looking at the game wherein you would want to reach the 99.9 percentile, and this is going to be a absolutely heartbreaking journey that you have to bleed and all. Okay, so what you now will have to do is that you need the extra 20 marks, extra 5 questions. So this will necessarily mean is that you have to do that chapter that you left. It necessarily means that you cannot you for example there are some gaps, right? So that is where you're reaching it. So you will have to go and attack those areas which is not giving you marks today. It could be a paragraph jumble, and for doing that, for every one question, you probably will have to put in another 15-20 hours behind it. So that's what my advice to be is. So you have to be very careful to do this. You have to do a proper analysis, bet on what is the area that you want to do and get there. So, and if I'm also guessing there'll be a lot of fluctuation in your score areas. So you have to make the best plans. It requires, I think that every extra 3 months will require about 30 hours of prep. That's my take.
Absolutely.
We have got our Dice has given me a lot of love. Okay, so I think this is a good question, Jevesh. I think this will be a question for everyone. Sir, please suggest something for working professional, how to manage things.
Jivesh, first and foremost, let me give my 2 bits to this. You are writing CAT because you want to get out of what you are doing. I think that should be clear. That's acceptable. Once you know that that's acceptable, which means your priority has to be CAT. Every waking moment which is not spent on your job, I would expect you to think about CAT and nothing else. Everything else can wait for the next 50 days. Only 50 days. So, in that sense of the word, if I am saying that 4.5 hours is the maximum that I'm asking you to spend time per day, even if you spend 10 hours for your job, 4.5 hours you can still give for your CAT. There are 24 hours in a day. And one more thing I'm going to tell you today, whether you guys want to go there or not, once you go to an IIM, once you go to an XLRI, once you go to an IIFT, you will sleep only 3 hours a day and a lot of work will be done. Lots of work will be there. Yeah, you will also play. But for the next 50 days, you need to realize that you need to kind of first start thinking that you're already in an IIM, which means you need to slog your backsides off. I guess, Gejo, I can't use all the unparliamentary language in YouTube.
Yeah.
And do that
The-
is what I would say.
So I think what you'll have to do, JJ, apart from what Arkss is saying, is that you list down tasks that you have to do. Don't worry about number of hours, right? You say
Correct.
weekly you have to do some this task, daily task. Today I've got a task, task A, task B, task C, task D, and then keep on doing these tasks. I have a task so that I would want to, let's say, look at solving DLR sets from, let's say, CAT. Or I would have a task to revise this one. List down every week, start by giving tasks, and every day have tasks. Have the task in place, and then you'll automatically find time for this task. So all of us are working. I am working. Arkss is working. We all and we have been working for 20 years. But this working cannot be an excuse for anything. Just because I am working, I can't be tired. I think these are all stupid excuses that people give. So once because I'm working, so why am I not having sex today? Sorry, I was working. Can't. So there you go. The YouTube is gonna stop me. So that's the answer to that.
Funny answer. Funny Kaushik. I'll tell him, just if you can just take funny Kaushik's.
Yeah.
And maybe, sir, is this the time to ditch another test series and completely focus on? First and foremost, I don't even say that you should touch any other test series except Career Launcher CDC. Not because we are from Career Launcher, because anything you do, too many of them, you will only get confused. Second, the effort which any other test series also does, and we do, I have nothing against anybody, is that the base of our basic, if you are a good test series that you're picking up, and that's one thing which we are very sure we are doing, is the base is the original CAT papers of the last so many years and expectation for CAT 2021. So there are 4 or 5 of us who are making all our efforts to ensure that you get there. I'm saying, where is the extra time available for you if the drill that I've given you has one mock every third day? The only way you is you'll only wasting time in writing more mocks without analysis. I'm saying don't do that is my simple suggestion to you, not because of any other reasons. In fact, if you are taking only one test set, if it's not Career Launchers and somebody else's test series, I'm saying just stick to it is what I would say, and write the All India mock cut of CL. However, if you're writing, I mean, we are coming out with an All India mock cat on 30th and 31st of this month. So you should definitely write it, because you will write and you will get a figuring out whether 15, 20,000 people will write or 30,000. The most important people will write it. The most serious people will write it. You will get to know where you stand. But beyond that, don't waste your time writing too many tests. That's my simple thing.
Yeah.
Gejo, I think
Yeah,
we'll have too many questions. I think we'll probably take one
okay,
last question.
So let me just address this. One of the problem of writing multiple tests is that, so you'll end up not writing. You have limited time, right? So you'll only end up writing what you can write. So your number of tests will remain the same. Then the problem happens is that every test is doing a lot of experimentation with some logic. So that you're randomly picking 3 tests from here, 3 paper from here, without knowing that width of logic that is going on. So it is very detrimental, unless of course you can solve everything, which I don't think you have the time. So my suggestion, whether you pick up CL test or somebody's test, obviously we will say CL test, but stick to one test. That's. I think we'll pick up. Anything you want to pick, Arkss? I think one last question. Let's see the most. So a lot of question is about, let me say that a lot of question is about, I am at a particular score, can I improve? Okay.
Answer is
so
yes.
I think,
simple.
Yeah.
I don't think they should ask this question. I said, boss, don't waste your time in asking this question. Start improving, and you will see the improvement within no time. Okay.
Yeah.
So one other thing I'll tell you, Gejo, is that I have given, all of you have our email IDs, arkss@careerlauncher.com or gejo@careerlauncher.com. What I would like you to suggest is, if you have a serious issue and you want that to be solved, yes, this is a very good forum. There will be other kind of forums like this on a regular basis. We will take it up, but also send a mail to us. We will definitely address that.
Yeah.
Thank you,
And
Srirashni, once again.
So nice. So I think we should just say goodbye to everyone. I think lunchtime, dinner time. Sorry, I have other work. So
no, all of you guys, I know there are so many questions we have not answered. We understand that you are also anxious. Please do mail one of us. Don't mail to both of us the same question. Please mail one of us. We will reply. 99%, 99 out of 100 times the same answer will be there. We are too sure of that. So therefore, divide your time. You like Gejo. A lot of you love Gejo. Please send more mails to him. But I will ensure that whatever mails come to either of us, we will reply quickly enough. Thank you so much.
If you are sending a mail to both of us, I'm going to assume Arkss is going to answer the question. So
Same
I'll not
thing.
answer.
I'm also going to assume the same thing.
All right, guys. I think we should say some good night, goodbye. Please say some love before you leave. It's nice to see some.
And if it was a good session and you liked it, all of you, give a shout out for all of us. Great. Make sure that you write all the mocks from today onwards, whatever we said, CDCs without fail. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Gaurav. Thanks, Jay, Gaurav, Deka. That's lovely. All of you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Arpita.